kids, welcome to Culinary Kits for Kids, and today's recipe is a small batch vanilla glazed apple cinnamon muffin. So it's a long title, hence all the ingredients that we're going to be using today. So don't worry, I'm going to walk you through the ingredients and then we're going to do our first step of the recipe. So what we're going to do first is we're going to show everybody what's going to be in your kit for this recipe. So you're going to have an apple. Okay, it might not be green, it might be a little red one, but that's okay, you're gonna use it anyways. You're gonna have a little bit of nutmeg in your kit. You're also gonna have some sugar. And you're gonna wanna get out that big vanilla we gave you from your previous kit, because we're gonna be needing about a teaspoon of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're also gonna have some powdered milk in your kit, okay? So you're gonna need to have some water so we can make that milk. We're gonna have some flour here, some powdered sugar to make our glaze, 1 tablespoon of butter. You're gonna wanna get out your salt because you're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 egg that we're gonna beat with our milk, powdered sugar, and some cinnamon. So what we're gonna wanna do first is get out everything you're gonna need and also preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So you're gonna need a grater, or if you do chop your apple, you're gonna wanna chop it very finely, very, very small. You're gonna need 1 bowl for our dry ingredients. You're gonna need 1 bowl for our apple that we're gonna shred. And you're also going to need 1 bowl to mix your egg and your milk up right here. And then for the glaze, I'm just gonna use the bowl that the powdered sugar's in. But you're gonna need some bowls, okay? You're also going to need a muffin tin right here, and I'm going to spray it with oil, but you can put muffin paper tin cups if you'd like. It's up to you. And I do have a whisk here, a spatula, and also some forks so I can mix the egg up. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grate my apple, and it says to grate half the apple. Your apples are going to be smaller than mine, so grate the whole apple, and be careful when you are grating with your fingers because you don't want to nick your finger. And the skin is optional, so the recipe doesn't call to take the skin off, so that's okay. We're going to use the skin, and I'm just going to use the smallest part of my grater, and I'm kind of going to mix the sizes up. So I'm going to go small, and then I'm going to go big. So I'm just going to get 2 different sizes here. And like I said, just be very careful when you're grating your apple, or if you're cutting your apple, be very careful too, because you don't want to cut your finger, right, on accident. And what's good about apples, guys, is that it has a lot of natural sugar. It's going to really sweeten up the muffin, but it also has a lot of good minerals in there too. So we're getting a lot of good stuff in here. All right, so I finished grating the apple. This is how much came out of my apple, and this is what I have left. I'm not gonna go all the way down because I don't wanna sacrifice nicking a finger or cutting a finger. So always practice safe cooking. Don't go all the way down on your apple, just get what you can. And I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Take this out of our way. And what you're gonna wanna do now is you're gonna get your apples, put them in a bowl. And there's going to be quite a bit of juice, that's okay. I'm going to put this cutting board in the sink. So I got my apples here now. I'm going to put my granulated sugar, it should be about 1 tablespoon, into our apples. And we're going to give that a mix. We're going to get that sugar coated with the apple and give it a good mix, okay? Don't just give it a little mix. Mix it really well because you really want all that sugar to get on each part of those grated apples, okay? Perfect, just like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our tablespoon of butter in a microwave safe dish, and we're gonna microwave this for about 20 seconds until it is melted, so I'll be right back. Butter is melted, everybody. I'm gonna put it to the side. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work with our dry ingredients. So you're going to want to get a bowl, put your flour into your bowl, okay, your baking powder, cinnamon, and a pinch of nutmeg. You're gonna have that in a little container. So just throw that pinch into your dry ingredients. And don't forget your salt, okay? Put your salt in there as well. Give that a good whisk because we want the dry ingredients to really be incorporated. So mix, mix, mix. You want the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the baking powder, the flour to get all mixed in there. And I like really getting the edges of my bowl because sometimes the spices like to stay there, or the flour. So really, really mix really well. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to make our milk. So you're gonna get your dried milk. You're gonna get half a cup of water. I'm just going to pour that over our milk. And with a fork, I'm going to mix. Make sure there's no clumps. And there you have it, we got some milk. This is so cool, guys, right? It can be in your pantry, and when you want milk, you can just make some with water. How cool is that? So we have about half a cup of milk here. We only need a 1/4 cup and 1 tablespoon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour out the 1/4 cup. I'm gonna measure here. That's about a 1/4 cup of milk. Oh, a little more, sorry. Let's see. You gotta get down to really tell how much milk you're measuring. You wanna look right at eye level. So there's a 1/4 cup of milk right here. I'm gonna put this milk to the side because we're gonna use it later. And now I'm gonna get my egg. Okay. And we're gonna beat our egg. So with that fork that I used for my milk, I'm gonna just go ahead and whisk the egg up, just like that. And it's all about your wrist, okay? Moving your wrist will mix that egg. And we're gonna go ahead and put this egg into our 1/4 cup of milk. Okay, mix that up. Perfect, so now we have our egg and our milk, our dry ingredients here. We have our melted butter, our vanilla, and then the rest of our milk and our powdered sugar. This is gonna go to the side. We're not gonna use it right now. So put that to the side. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to put the egg in there. We're gonna put the butter, and that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna do the egg first because the butter's still a little hot. Okay. I'm gonna mix that in to our flour mixture. And we're gonna make our batter. So it's gonna get pretty thick from here, and we still have to add our butter. So don't worry, just keep mixing, get everything off the side of the bowl. That's why I like using a spatula, because you can just kind of get all that dryness from the side of the bowl into the mixture. Perfect. I'm gonna check the temperature of my butter because I don't want to cook our eggs with it. And it seems warm, but I don't think it's gonna cook the eggs, so I'm just gonna put that in there. Give it a really good mix. Perfect. And then from here, that's how it looks. I'm gonna scrape the sides like I did earlier. And that's the batter. It looks really good. Now we're going to go ahead, and it says to combine the sugar with the apples. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna put that into the batter. So just put those apples right in. Okay. Mix them up into the batter. And there you have it, guys. That's it. You just mix the apples in there. And there's our batter for the muffins. So you're gonna wanna put the vanilla also on the side with your powdered sugar and the rest of your milk. Just putting all my stuff over here. And now what you're gonna wanna do is you wanna grease your muffin tin. So I'm just using some oil spray. But like I said, you can use little muffin cups, muffin tins, whatever you want to do. And our muffin mixture should make about 4, but depending how much you put, it'll make more or less, right? If you want a big old muffin, maybe you can make 3. If you want little, smaller muffins, maybe it'll make 5. It just really depends how much batter you put into the cup. And I'm using a fourth of a cup little measuring cup, and I'm just putting dollops into the muffin tin. They look really good. I think we're gonna have 5 here. So getting every last bit, right? We don't want to waste anything. Get that extra muffin. So just gonna get all that stuff. There we go. All right, so your muffins should look like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the oven for about, let me see, 20 minutes, okay? So 350 degrees for 20 minutes. All right, we have 5 minutes left on the muffin, so we're gonna make the vanilla glaze. So what you're gonna need is your powdered sugar, and you're gonna wanna get a bowl. I'm gonna use the same bowl my powdered sugar's in. You're gonna get your vanilla, put that right into the sugar, just like that. Get every bit out, right? Every bit counts. And then you're just gonna need a tablespoon or a teaspoon of milk, a teaspoon to a tablespoon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pour, but if you want, you can measure. I've been doing this for a while, so I just pour in, okay? And you're gonna start to mix. And you're gonna want the consistency of a glaze, so you're gonna want it thick, right? So you don't wanna put all of your milk in. That's gonna make it very watery. Just a splash, mix, and if you feel that it's too thick, put another splash of milk and keep mixing. And you're gonna wanna get all those chunks of powdered sugar out of your mixture, right? Because you don't want a chunky glaze. And I'm trying my hardest to get those chunks of powdered sugar out of the mixture. I'm just pressing down with my fork, seeing if I could get those bigger chunks out. That way we can have a smooth glaze. And that's my glaze consistency. So it's not too thick, but it's not too thin. And if you feel like you did get your glaze too thin, you can always put a little more powdered sugar in your mixture. Or if your glaze is also too thick, like I said, go ahead and just put more of your milk into the mixture. Okay, my glaze is done. The muffins are out, so I'm gonna carefully take them out because they're very hot. They just came out of the oven. And with my oil spray, they pop right out, right? So that's what we want. We don't want a sticky muffin because then all the good stuff gets stuck inside the pan. So I'm just taking these out. They're beautiful, they smell great. And now we're going to put our glaze on them. So it made 5 pretty good sized muffins. I'm gonna go ahead and just drizzle the glaze over. And you don't have to put all the glaze you make either. Like, don't think you have to pour all the glaze over them because the little glaze goes a long way. It is made full of powdered sugar, right? So it's gonna be very sweet. So here you have them, guys. They look so good and they smell so, so, so good. I hope y'all enjoy them. Let us know what you think and we'll see you in the next one.